You know, there are places on Earth that look like they've been pulled straight out of a fairy tale. And this is one of them, the historic village of Shirakawa-go. When it's covered in this thick blanket of snow, it's just magical. But underneath all that beauty is this incredible story of ingenuity, of community, and really a centuries-long battle against one of the toughest environments you can find in Japan.
I mean, just look at it. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's famous for these totally unique farmhouses with their super steep, thatched roofs. They're called gashozukiri, and when winter hits, the whole landscape just transforms into something else, something that pulls in millions of people from all over the world who want to see it for themselves.
Okay, so let's dive into this a little deeper. Because as beautiful as it is, you have to remember this village is tucked away in a remote mountain valley that gets some of the heaviest snowfall on the entire planet. So the real question isn't just, isn't it pretty? The real question is about resilience. How on earth did people manage to build and sustain a thriving community here for hundreds of years against such overwhelming odds? So here's what we're going to explore. We're going to peel back the layers of this amazing place. First, we'll look at the extreme environment they're up against. Then we'll get into the architectural genius they came up with to deal with it. After that, we'll uncover the really unique social spirit that holds the whole village together. And finally, we'll look at the new challenges this living, breathing heritage site is facing today.
All right, first things first, let's set the stage. Shirakawa-go is nestled deep, deep in a mountain valley. Now, that isolation is what helped preserve its culture for centuries, but it also means you're going head-to-head with some seriously extreme weather. For almost half the year, this village is basically locked in a battle with snow and ice.
And we're not talking about a quick cold snap here. For months on end, the village is just buried in deep, heavy snow. Temperatures are constantly below freezing, with the average lows dipping to -5 degrees Celsius right in the middle of winter.
But it's the sheer amount of snow that is just staggering. It's totally normal for it to pile up 1 or 2 meters deep, and in some winters, it can get as high as 4 meters. I mean, that's enough snow to completely swallow a single-storied building. To survive that kind of immense pressure, you need more than just grit. You need a brilliant solution. And that answer, the key to surviving all that snow, lies in these incredible structures, the gashozukuri farmhouses. They are not just beautiful to look at. Every single part of their design is a direct, intelligent answer to the world outside.
The name itself actually gives you a huge clue about how they work. Gasho is the traditional gesture of pressing your hands together in prayer, and if you look at the roofs, that steep, triangular shape is a perfect match. That design is the village's first line of defense. And the design is just pure genius. That steep 60-degree angle, it makes the heavy snow slide right off. The houses are all built facing north and south to cut down on resistance from the strong winds that whip through the valley. This also means the wide east and west-facing sides of the roof get sunshine all day long, which helps melt the snow. And maybe most importantly, that massive roof creates this huge attic space, which was absolutely essential for the village's economy as a place to raise silkworms.
But the cleverness doesn't stop there. And this part is just fascinating. The entire roof frame is built without a single metal nail. Instead, all the massive wooden beams are tied together with this strong, flexible rope made from the bark of young trees. What this does is it gives the whole building a unique flexibility, allowing it to bend and absorb the shock from earthquakes and typhoons without just snapping. It's an ancient kind of engineering, and it works incredibly well.
So you've got the perfect house, but even the most brilliant piece of architecture can't do it all. The real secret to Shirakawa-go's survival isn't just in the wood and straw, it's in the powerful social fabric that holds the entire community together. This social glue has a name, yui. It's a traditional system of mutual help. When there's a job that's just too big for one family, like, say, rethatching an entire roof, the whole community comes together to share the work. It's not about getting paid. It's about shared responsibility. It's about survival.
And the most incredible example of yui is watching a roof get rethatched. This is a huge job that has to happen every 20 or 30 years. So through the yui system, as many as 200 people from the village will all gather. And in this just stunning display of cooperation, they strip the old roof, lay the new thatch, and get the entire job done in a single day. It's just an amazing testament to what a community can do when it truly works as one.
So for centuries, Shirakawa-go's biggest challenge was nature. But today, the village faces a brand new, much more complicated threat, its own popularity. The very thing that makes it so special is now putting it at risk. Think about this. This is a tiny village of about 1,600 residents. And now they welcome up to 2 million tourists every single year. And while, yeah, that's good for the economy, it also puts this immense strain on the infrastructure, the environment, and just the daily lives of the people who actually call this place home.
This quote from a resident of one of the historic homes really just brings the whole issue to life. This isn't a theme park, right? It's a living, breathing community where people are just trying to live their lives. But some visitors, maybe they just don't know the local customs, treat private homes and even sacred spaces like they're just props for a photo, forcing residents to literally put up fences to protect their own homes.
So you end up with this fundamental conflict. You have two versions of Shirakawa-go existing in the same space. For the 1,600 residents, it's home, with traffic jams and privacy concerns. For the 2 million visitors, it's a beautiful, temporary escape, a place to get that perfect, authentic picture. And figuring out how to make those two realities work together is the biggest challenge for the village's future.
But the villagers are absolutely fighting to protect their home. Way back in 1971, they established 3 core principles: don't sell, don't rent, and don't destroy. And that has been crucial to keeping the village's character intact. Now, they're adding modern strategies, like restricting traffic, really trying to promote visitor etiquette, and even teaching their own kids about their heritage in a program called Villager Studies to make sure this incredible culture survives.
Because in the end, Shirakawa-go is so much more than just a bunch of pretty houses. It's a complete, integrated system. The architecture, the community spirit of Yui, the whole philosophy of living in balance with nature. You can't separate them. It all has to work together.
And that leaves us with one final and pretty challenging question. Shirakawa-go is this amazing success story of survival, but as its fame grows, the challenge changes. How do we, as visitors and admirers, help protect a living, breathing community? How do we make sure that our love for a place doesn't end up being the very thing that destroys it? That's definitely something to think about.